Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Mugshot Monday. Let's see if I've got my sticker available. It's here. Mugshot Monday, you guys. You can buy these on the Pink Shade store. Go to pinkshadepodcast.com. Hey, we're just doing a little promo at the top of the show.
Nothing
You
wrong with that.
guys, no, nothing wrong with it. It's Mugshot Monday.
Mm-mm.
We're going to finish up Inmate to Roommate, thank God. And we're going to talk about Love After Lockup Season 5D, Episode 3, or Season 5, Episode 33, depending on who you are, where you're viewing, what's going on.
Yeah.
Keisha,
Yes.
Inmate to Roommate. We done.
I'm kind of sad to see it done. I'm sad. But this was a very lackluster episode compared to the season.
Well,
really
they always
was.
do that penultimate episode, like one before the finale, and then you get to the finale and you're like, wah, wah.
Oh, I was like, is that really it? But okay, let me blaze through this so we can get to Love After Lockup.
Tell us what happened, and then tell me if you have any updates on these people beyond what we saw.
I do for one person.
Mm-hmm.
Other people couldn't find. Okay, so we'll start off with Veda, Annalisa, and Mark. So Mark has been kicked out of the house. So the next morning, Veda walks outside and he finds that Mark has been sleeping in his car.
Why didn't you like his car?
You know what? I'm one of those people. I don't always like my car.
Here's Keisha's address: 222 Smith Street, Houston, Texas, 17404.
I literally forget to. I think James and I both do that. Everyone else locks their car, but I will straight up forget to lock my car.
You don't understand that is the biggest crime in our neighborhood. It is every day on the next door. It's like, well, somebody broke into my car, and people go like, "Was your car unlocked?" Like, yeah, like, well, you got what you deserved.
Okay, well then I also leave my keys in my car.
Keisha, again, you guys, 222 Smith Street, Houston, Texas. Go and get it. Go get Keisha's car.
I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the person that does live at 222 Smith Street. We may have people like passing by going beep 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 beep. Is Keisha there? Beep 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 beep. Yeah, I've been trying to do better, but I do that quite often. So. All right, so Mark is sleeping in Veda's car, and Veda's just like, "Huh? Like, what is this?" And Mark gets out, and he's basically like, "Where's my stuff?" Veda says, "Your stuff is right over there, literally right over there in 2 bags." Yeah. And Mark is like, "Well, can I come in and check that? You put all my stuff out?" And Veda's like, "No, I don't know what kind of state of mind this guy is in, or any. He slept in my car after I kicked him out of my house. Yeah. That's pretty bad." Yeah. So for some odd reason, Mark decides to go live. And he's like, "These people are acting weird. Can I come in and get my stuff?" And Veda's like, "No." Then Annalisa kind of comes out and she's like, "Well, what are your plans?" And Veda goes off. Like, we've never really seen him go off. He's like, "It doesn't matter. He needs to go. We're done. We're done. We're done." And then Mark goes live. I don't know if he's really live or he's pretending to be live or whatever, but he's like, "I'll bring the whole hood up in here." So then Veda's like, "Okay, I'm calling the police." The police come. Mark hears the sirens. He walks off. Veda makes a police report. At some point, they decide to have a little barbecue, and Diaja comes over, and they're kind of reminiscing about everything. And Annalisa is sad. Diaja is sad. They're like, "We wanted to be able to do so much more." And Veda is just like, "We tried it. He didn't accept it. He didn't do what he was supposed to do."
So Diaja is not Veda's kid. Because she calls him Veda, unless it's just like us. Like everybody calls him Bones, and sometimes I call him Bones, even though he's dad. So
right,
but the grandkids call him Bones. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny. No, I don't think that's his kid.
She's she really loves him a lot because she's like, once he's flipped on you, it's over.
That's it. Yeah, and he took a lot of shit from Mark. He really did. Yeah. So they conclude that was the best decision for them to make. They hope everything is well. They haven't heard from him in 3 months. And I think Annalisa reached out to his probation officer to see if he was still free. He's still free. But unfortunately, he cannot be reached for an update because his phone is probably turned off. That's just coming from me.
Okay. And so you didn't see anything online about him.
I saw that he is free. He has a girlfriend who has a young child. That's all that I saw from him.
Is it one of those ratchet white girls from that white car that kept driving up?
I didn't see a picture of the girl.
Okay. And nobody said he was being a boss of some sex workers, because that seemed to be a rumor as well.
They didn't say, but I mean, I
Okay.
wouldn't really be promoting that on anything if I were him. So
Right. Well, I wouldn't be. He
who
wouldn't like
knows?
put it down on his job description. But
Right, right.
yeah, that was a rumor.
Well, at least he's out of jail, so he's
Yes.
doing good there. So now we go to David and Aaron. We find Aaron is packing up his shit. He says that his friend offered him a place to live for like 6 to 7 months if he helps him fix up a house, which to me, that's a temporary situation. And he's acting like this is like a permanent thing. And
Yeah.
of course, Lavina gets to live with him.
Of
So
course.
David walks in and he finds Aaron packing. He's like, what's going on? Aaron tells him he's got this great deal, this great opportunity. Lavina gets to live with him. And David's kind of like, okay. And in his talking head, he says he's really worried about his sobriety. So Aaron moves out. They meet up at a coffee shop months later. They give each other thanks and, a brief update. And Aaron says that he really wants to start back focusing on, their mission of prison reform. And they agree to stay in touch. That's basically it. So what I saw online was that Aaron was arrested in January for drug possession and sales. And then he was arrested again July 4th for an outstanding warrant. But I have been like snooping on his Facebook page.
Yeah.
I know that he's out because he made a post on July 26th.
Huh.
So how's he out of jail?
I don't know. If he got arrested for dealing drugs, which was in there before, and then he got for a parole violation, I mean,
I would think he would be in prison.
Maybe he went right into rehab and they looked favorably on that. Like,
maybe he's real like into religion, and he plays the guitar, he sings at church and all that good stuff. And I want to say his daughter Abby had another baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, he's been out since at least 2020. I'm not sure when this show was filmed.
Weird.
Yeah.
So when was that arrest? July of this year?
It didn't say which year.
Okay.
They insinuated it was this year. Yes. Yes.
If anybody knows anything about that, let us know. I don't know why we're interested, but we are.
I just want to know. Okay. Then we get to Emily and Jason. Emily has called production to talk to them about how horrible of a roommate that Jason is once again, how she's asked him to move out and he basically refuses. He still has people coming in and out of the house. And she's starting to think that some of them are stealing from her. How she would be able to tell with all that shit in her house, I really don't know.
Well, she acts like she was like, I'm not sure if they're stealing anything. I'm like, yeah, how can you tell?
I'm like,
yeah,
because you can't tell. Like if someone stole something out of my house, like something's missing, I would know like immediately something's gone.
Yeah. Well, Jason, it depends on my house which room you go in. Is it a regular room or a hoarder room? Because some of these rooms in this house are hoarder rooms.
We have a hoarder room as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And a hoarder closet as well. So Jason says he's been paying rent. He's even been paying a little bit extra when him and Emily are going back and forth. Surprisingly, Jason gets hired to be a graphic designer based on a photo that he did. Yeah, I know. A photo that he did while he was in prison that he put online. Here's the thing about Jason.
It was a painting. It was a painting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Jason is a very highly intelligent person.
Yeah.
Who just has a fucked up way of thinking and bad decision making. I really do. I think he could probably learn how to do anything just like that. Actually, he actually said that he could. So he's got a job. He goes back and he brings donuts and kolaches to Emily. And he's like, look, I got a job. I just need a place to stay. Come home, take a shower, eat, go to bed, go to work. So she's like, you know what? I can do that. Now that you're working, I can give you 60 more days. And she also tells him, I understand more about how you are than you realize. Because I think Emily's had some troubled years.
Yeah, it's just not said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not clear exactly what it is. So shortly after filming was wrapped up, Jason surprisingly was arrested for a probation violation. And he's set for a release of November 6th, 2026. So he's gonna be in there.
A long time for a probation violation.
Yeah.
Wow. He must have really done something. It couldn't have been just like he didn't call in. He had to really have done something.
It's Jason. He really did something.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Cindy and Jennifer. Jennifer basically tells Cindy that she's thinking about moving out. She's got this job as a field agent for selling insurance. I can tell you they don't make a lot of money because my niece's mom did that, and you really got to hustle a lot. So And then she says she's doing it part-time. So anyway, she kind of warns Cindy that she's thinking about moving out, but she just has no idea what she is. So Cindy says on our talking head that Jennifer hasn't been around him a lot. She basically just is gone all day. She comes home. She hasn't seen her. So I think she has a fear that the end is nearing, but she just doesn't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it happens on a morning that she just decides to make and take Jenny a caramel roll. And Jennifer's in there packing all of her stuff.
Caramel roll sounds kind of gross. Is it like a cinnamon roll, but with caramel?
Yeah, and it looked gross whenever.
Do you say caramel or caramel?
Did I say caramel? I really say caramel.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't know why. I looked at it and said it like how it's spelled on my paper.
Yeah, it looked gross.
I'm a caramel kind of girl. Yeah,
sorry,
it didn't look very good. So she walks in and Jennifer's in there packing. She's like, yes, I'm leaving. And Cindy's like, okay, when were you going to tell me? She goes, pretty much when I got done packing. She's like, sometimes you're kind of hard to approach. And, she tells her thank you. She appreciates her. And you can tell that Cindy's really sad. I actually felt a little bit bad for Cindy because I don't know.
Because she's like, now I'm alone. Yeah.
Yeah. So she decides she's going to move to her brother's house. And after like a month or so, she invites Cindy to come over to her brother's house. She meets her older son who's popping willies and all this and that. And Jennifer says, I know if I need you, I can always come back. And Cindy's like, of course. And Cindy's got new hair dye color in her hair.
Oh, I didn't even notice it. What color was it?
There was like a pink and a burgundy, like some kind of weird red, something.
But it was like more to the root. It looked like it was new.
Oh, of course not. No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. She had switched it up and it grown out. There was no update for Jennifer, so I assume she's doing well.
I hope so.
Then we have Daniel, Kathy, and Devin. Devin's grandmother Penny goes over to Kathy and Daniel's to have some tea and to spill the tea on her grandson. So she says that he was in a sober living house for 10 days and that he had to go to Oklahoma to be with this girl. I'm assuming it's the girl from when he was in Oklahoma who gave him the vampire hickey.
Yeah.
So he goes there. He gets arrested in Oklahoma. He has charges in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas and has been arrested 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah. Since he got out of sober living. Penny says,
and we don't know, is that like 2 years or like 6 months?
We have no idea.
How are you arrested 7 times? At some point, like the 4th time they put you back in prison? Like, how do you keep getting arrested?
That's how I don't know. Me and my mom were discussing and she goes, how is he not in prison? I'm like, prison reform? I don't know, like what's going on here.
If it's all drug charges and they're not giving him a fighting chance to go to like a 6 month, a year long rehab. It could be a rehab jail, but that's what he needs. And that's, to me, a lot of the sadness, a lot of these stories is a lot of these people could really be helped with a good, solid rehab program. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be one you pay a lot of money for. It can be a state-run rehab program, but anything,
they get the help that they need. Yeah.
They get the help. So then they can like go back to the way they were and be a member of society. Right. And, because I'm going to tell you, most people that are drug addicts don't want to be drug addicts,
Oh no, of course not. They really don't. It's a demon.
It's a demon and they want to be better and they want to be better and they don't want to be a criminal. And I mean, it's right. I mean, we could go on and on and on about it, but I mean, in my own family, I've seen the power of what a rehab can really do to help somebody.
Right.
Of course, if you don't want it, it's not going to work for you. And that's, so somebody could go to rehab and not want to get better and not get better. It goes both ways.
And I think that's been the case with Devin. He just doesn't want to.
He's just not ready to get better. And it's going to end up tragically. It's so sad.
I think so. And that's what I was telling my mom. I was like, I hope it doesn't happen. But, one of those people that ends up ODing because he just can't stop. But hopefully he gets it together. I know he's in jail right now. So hopefully he's sober in jail. Penny says she refuses to have any contact with him in order to save him. He is currently in jail in Oklahoma. And that's everyone.
Wow.
Mickey's still in jail. So.
Oh, that poor couple. That was such a nothing burger because they really wanted to promote their church, but no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They didn't need any more TV time.
Please don't bring him back for season 3 or whatever.
Please don't.
No. Matt Sharp.
You never want to see them again.
Yeah. All righty. Well, then let us go into Love After Lockup again, season 5D, episode 3. season 5, episode 33. First times and second chances.
First time having sex.
Second chances.
And second chances.
At love. At life.
Oh, that's I'm gonna think that's Kim. What's the blonde girl's name? And Joey.
Oh, Kimberly and Joey, yeah.
Yeah, this is their second chance because they've already been together.
Right. Great point.
Second chance.
Okay, good job. Good job. We'll talk about his hairdo when we get to him. But
yeah, he was shooketh.
I was upset. This message is sponsored by Greenlight. When you're a parent, you'll have your fair share of big talks with your kids. Don't I know it? I've got one that's in their 20s now and one heading off to college. My gosh, there are so many big talks. But one of those big talks should always involve money. Greenlight can help you with that. I've told you guys that my kids had a Greenlight card when they were little, and it was told to me by Ingrid. Producer Ingrid told me about the Greenlight card, suggested my kids get it, and boy, oh boy, was it a game changer. Greenlight is a debit card and a money app made for families. You can send your kids instant money transfers, get real-time notifications of their spending. You can manage their chores and automate their allowance. That's what we did. We said, okay, for every time you take the trash out, we'll give you $1. And then they also, once a week, would look over at their savings because we were putting half of whatever we gave them into savings. And at the end of the week or the end of the month, they could be like, hey, all of a sudden I have $30. And they never had it before. They never understood it before. It was fantastic. Your kids are going to build financial literacy and independence by learning to earn, save, and spend wisely. They look at that app and they're like, uh-oh, it's getting kind of low, and they learn to spend wisely. The Greenlight app also comes with an in-app financial literacy game called Level Up. Kids love a game on the phone, right? It's going to help kids build money confidence through videos, bite-sized challenges, mini games, and more. Millions of parents and kids use Greenlight to learn how to make responsible financial choices. So stop putting off the money talk and start putting your kids on the right path. Sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free at greenlight.com/pinkshade. That's greenlight.com/pinkshade to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/pinkshade. As we go through these people, if you know any scoop on them before we start, let me know, because you said you had some updates on some people.
I do.
Okay, so let's start with Zeruiah. I'm going to call her Z, and Troy.
Zeruiah. I think her dad said Zeruiah. But then her husband said Zeruiah. And I have an update on her.
It looks like Zeruiah, like Mariah to me with an extra U. Yeah. I'm going to call her Z. So give me an update on Z.
Well, it turns out that we find out how she's already getting free money. Money just comes to her. That's because she has been arrested for, a Class C felony for grand larceny.
What?
She also was arrested first degree falsifying business records. Huge shocker that we already knew that. We already knew that. But yeah, we just didn't know she had been arrested for it. Yeah. Mm-hmm, the person who released this, I think it was according to Amber, Zeruiah gets on there. This is those charges got, deduced down, and this is defamation of character. You're going to be hearing from my attorney. And someone's like, if it's true, it's not defamation of character. And
it's public record.
Yes.
It's public record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she ain't got no attorney.
Her attorney is her mom in her Marge Simpson looking outfit. I cannot get over how much her mother looks like Marge Simpson in that purple hat. I just could not get over it every time they showed her.
That's her look.
That's her look, man. It's her look. All right. So these two, Troy is finally released, and everybody is so happy. The family's happy. Mm-hmm. He says, I got anxiety being out here. Like, I just can't believe it, And he shows them, he's got his ankle monitor. He's on tether. And he tells us he was first sent to prison when he was 18. He felt money was the most important thing. He took his freedom for granted. And he says, I'm overly confident I'll never go to prison again. That's good. He thanks her parents for supporting them. And she says, let's pray on it. So they pray on it.
Prayer circle time.
that prayer circle time with the Marge Simpson hat in the jail parking lot.
Yes.
And he tells us Z is the love of his life, his best friend. She's beautiful. He knows he's met his soulmate, and he just smiles when he thinks of her. He's going to stare into her eyes every day. And then when they're together and they're talking head, now I'm wondering, because she's in that green pantsuit get up and he's in green pants. I'm wondering, did she send him those pants to wear?
Yes, she did. So they
would match. Yeah.
Yeah. And be the pickle brother and sister. Yeah. Soon as I saw the green pants, I said, okay, so she did this on purpose so they could match immediately out of prison.
That is funny. That is funny. So I don't know if that's a good color on anybody. I really don't think,
because it's like a Crayola green.
Yeah. I really wonder. Yeah. My sister in her house has her bar is that green, but it's like a shellac, like a patent, like a red patent, but a green patent shiny bar. Like the paint is super shiny, and it's because it's one tiny little space. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, it just is not really cool in a bodysuit on Zeruiah. It just doesn't work at all.
I kept trying to see what her necklace said, but I couldn't quite see what it read. I kept pausing it.
It probably said queen.
Probably, but it was 2 words, so I don't know. It could have said like, my man, Troy's girl, something. So
something ridiculous,
something stupid. So together, he says, I can't wait to get alone with her. So they're going to the hotel. She has a special surprise for him. She's decorated the room. She spent about $300 on it, and she has a yoni, a vag steamer, a yoni steamer that they had to sit on Seek and Sister Wife, the Snowdens, made everybody sit on the yoni steamer. Why and what's happening?
Well, first of all, I'm so tired of these women setting up these hotel rooms with all those balloons and I love yous and roses. A man doesn't fucking care about that stuff. He doesn't want to see a million balloons. Like, no, that's like for a 16-year-old girl's birthday. You know what I mean? That's the party set up for that. So I think the yoni steam is ridiculous, but then again, that ass hasn't sat in a bathtub in 7 years.
Ew.
Well,
but I think a yoni steamer is to steam up inside the lady's vag, and the guy doesn't have that kind of whole situation happening in there.
So you're 100% correct, but I see her thinking in it, but it's her, and she doesn't realize it's going to have the same effect for that hole as it would another hole.
Just sit in the bathtub if you're worried about him not being clean.
Well, she made him do both. She wanted it to be pristine.
She's like, and then after this, you're getting in the shower, and here are some loofahs and back scrubbers, and you're going to get it all the way clean, back, front, toes, everything. Here's a pumice stone, everything.
Right? I'm like, I wondered if she put a splash of bleach in that bath water.
Gross. I will say, though, that when he came out, his hair looked good. Like his hair had been done.
Yeah. So there had to be a guy on his cell block that did cut hair.
Because his hair and his beard and everything were all put together. Yeah. Okay. So she says, I spent that money to decorate this room so he would feel loved, and he will know that he's appreciated and that he deserves it. And I don't think I do too much. I think other people do too little.
I mean, I go by that logic a little bit. I like to do too much. I really do. But I don't feel like you have to do that much for someone who's been in prison 70 years, and they most certainly don't deserve it because
he's happy just to be at the Hampton Inn. I mean, he is.
Yeah. I think he's perfectly fine with just that. He would have preferred they could have spent that $300 on a really good meal.
She could have put that into his money bouquet.
The money bouquet. Yeah, I agree.
So,
but this money just fell to her. It just fell to her.
It's amazing.
Money just comes to her. Yeah, because she fucks over other people and their businesses. So that's how it comes to her freely.
Well, I didn't know that if you manifest, money comes to me freely and often. You can manifest. I didn't know that then that meant you had to steal it. I just thought it would come to you like a lottery or something.
I mean, you have to, like they say, pray specifically.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think she just didn't care how it came to her as long as it was free and she didn't really have to work for it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why her parents, the preachers, are so on board with being like, whatever, as long as she's off our payroll, we don't give a shit.
Yeah,
So,
she ain't working our books.
no, please.
Mm-mm.
So, he cries. He appreciates it. They hug and everything. So she puts him on the yoni steamer, and he's like, I don't know what this is. I think this is built for a woman, but all right.
Yeah.
Then she puts him in the tub and puts that
Mhm.
stupid Party City crown on him that is literally for a toddler. That looks
It
like
actually looks like a cake topper to me.
it's
Like, it looks
tiny.
like you get on top of like a 3-tier cake, and that's just like the top of it. It's
Yeah.
it looked like a girl's crown.
Yes, it did. I was
It
like,
didn't look masculine at all.
you could go to Amazon and find something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she puts him in the tub. She puts that crown on him. They make out, and she's like on the side of the tub, like gonna
It was
jump in,
really
but not gonna
weird.
jump in. What are you doing, girl?
I don't know.
Then she says, I don't know if he has a small penis, but I prayed to God that he wouldn't, and I hope God heard my prayers. And that was a specific prayer.
Yes, it was. I think if God were doing things, he'd be helping starving children and things like that.
Stop the wars in the world. There are a lot of things we could do.
Yes, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm confused on why she keeps focusing on the size of his penis. Like, has he told her it's small?
I think he has told her it's small because next week, when we get our clip from next week, I think he has told her it is small, but I think in theory it is giant.
Ooh.
Giant.
Wow.
And I think she's
about that.
Yeah, I'm just, don't worry, we will. Okay. So you guys, right before we got on, Keisha and I and James, her husband, her producer, we were talking about ratings on podcasts and how you can say something's explicit, but you don't really have to say it. You could just say it's not explicit, and then you can change it if somebody complains or whatever. So mine is not listed as explicit, even though I say a lot of bad words. And like my mother would say, it's the most explicit thing she's ever heard in her life. And Keisha's is obviously very explicit because she even says worse things than me.
Oh,
and I made a joke to Keisha and
the
her
wrong
husband.
people.
I made a joke.
Yeah.
I go, listen, you could say on this show, like, somebody fucked me up the ass. And I go, that's explicit. And you guys, the two of them, the way they reacted was like two high schoolers. They fell out and started saying that I must know about that. And my husband must be happy. I was like,
you knew about it last night. It was going down in the Gilbert's bedroom.
That
nothing
is
but thunder.
Disgusting. Let me
you
tell
said
you,
it, and it flowed so easily from your lips. We're like, David's cooking dinner today. He's a happy man. He's whistling in the house because it went down last night.
No, I have a potty mouth. I really do. And I really say horrible things. And I say only about half of it on air. I really do.
Yeah.
And I do. I say terrible things sometimes. And I'm sorry. And I have my, look, if you're on video, you can see I have my pearls that I could clutch. I have them right here. I've got so many props in this office. You don't even have to say anything.
Crazy.
I'm like,
yes.
What? I'm like, well, let's see what else I got over here. I've got like Christmas earrings. Oh my God, it's nuts. Okay.
Literally, she's telling the truth. Like, I'll say something. She's like, oh, hold on. I mean, the day I said something about like weddings, and she literally leaned to the right and pulled out a damn veil.
Yep.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
It's right
I was
here.
like,
it's from my wedding.
So I'm like, she's an organized hoarder in that office. She has everything.
That's why I said.
In the office.
Just got to see this area right here. We can't tilt the camera to the right or the left because it's not good.
She's got it all. She's got it
all. Let's go on to Julian and Christine. Now, we did talk about her meth mouth. And I know Matt and Jake talked about her meth mouth. Other people talked about her meth mouth. It wasn't just us. We got some DMs. At least I did.
I got
them. Okay. Great.
I just saw like someone like broke some stuff down about on your page in the group.
Yeah.
About people with the drugs in there. But I want to hear about the DMs.
It was the same. It was like,
Okay.
a lot of people that have had years and years of drug use like that, even though they are recovered or sober or whatever word you want to use, they may still have those affectations and those tics. They can't get rid of it.
And that's good to know, because we wouldn't know, because we didn't do meth for years.
She doesn't talk crazy. She doesn't act like she's on anything. Like she's not trying to take the kitchen. She doesn't act like she's trying to take the kitchen apart. She just seems like, whoa, I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a wackadoo, but so is her boyfriend, because I have scoop on him as well.
Yes.
So here we go.
Let's go.
We are thinking Julian is this clean cut Mr. Nice Guy, right?
Let's see. Yeah, he's a marketing project manager and a writer.
Yeah, and he likes to dress cats up in royal outfits and things like that.
Cute.
Well, 11 days after Christine's release, he was arrested. He was arrested for obstructing an officer, fleeing, and shoplifting. He stole over $500 worth of things from, of all places, Walmart.
Wow. Yeah. Let it at least be Target.
I mean, everyone knows you cannot steal from Walmart.
I don't know this. Why can't you?
Because they have cameras. They're constant. Have you seen some of the things that go down in Walmart?
Well, yeah, but seems like Walmart would be easy. You just take your shit and walk out and be like, what are you going to do about it?
It is one of the hardest places to steal from.
Oh, I don't know this information. Okay, well,
yes, it is. Yeah. So, and Christine was with him, but I'm just thinking, did he spend too much on, like, the cat outfits, the cat backpack, the hotel room, that he needed to go and steal from Walmart?
You know what I bet? I 100% bet she did it, and they were just together at Walmart. And then when they checked out, they were like, "Excuse me, sir, you didn't pay for all this stuff." And he just took the fall because he didn't want her to go back to prison.
Well, when they caught, so here's how he got caught. He ran, and then once he got into grass, he fell. So that's how they were able to get him. Because, of course, Julia would fall running in grass. So they were asking, where's the girl? Where's the girl? He's like, what girl? There was no girl with me. So
yeah, I think he was trying
to protect her. And they're still together. They're still
together. Where did you get such a detailed report?
This was on Starcasm.
Starcasm. Okay.
Yes.
By the way, Starcasm mentioned to me last week in an article about Olivia Plath, and then I was texting back and forth with whoever it just says Starcasm IG. I don't know who it is running the account. And I was like, anytime you want somebody to talk about any of these shows, let us know. We're here for you, Starcasm.
Definitely. Yeah, you should have sent them a list, because, I mean, they talk about a lot of the TLC people, the WeTV people. So
I should start tagging them.
Yes, you should.
Gosh, you guys, it's taken me a few years, but I'm finally getting it. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that about Julian, and I blame Christine fully. And they live in Annapolis, and that's a real, like, fancy bougie place, Annapolis, Maryland.
It's here's the thing. They were actually in Wood County, West Virginia.
What the fuck?
That's where he was arrested at.
Okay, but she's from West Virginia, remember? She's from West Virginia, so maybe they were visiting somebody. It's not good. It's not good.
Not a good look.
Like it. I don't like it. All right, so they're in the car, and he's like, here's your phone back. And she's like, oh, great. Oh my God, I've got like 4,000. Like, what do I do? I was like, girl, wipe that phone and start over. Like, don't even try.
And it's probably all like spam.
Yes, exactly. You don't have to read each one,
No, just delete that shit.
And she's like, oh, my mom sent me a message. It says, turn yourself in and stop at the destruction of your life. And he goes, when was that? She goes, the day before I got arrested. Great. Thanks, Mom. It's like, it sounded like she was
she was trying to help you out. Yeah. And
So in her talking head, she says, my mom was a single mom, and obviously she didn't enjoy that because she mostly lived with her great-grandmother and her great-aunts. She lived with her great-grandmother and her great-aunt. So not even her grandmother and
grandmother.
Her aunts. Yeah. And she says, when her mom got her shit together, she was already 11 years old and she didn't want to go back and live with her. And she turned her back on her mom. But she got back in touch with her about 10 years ago when she realized she had a drug problem. She reached out for help. And instead of helping her, her mom went to CPS and got custody of her oldest child. Well, I'm going to tell you something. It's very hard to take custody away from a mother. So
it is. I mean, they will give literally a crackhead mom living in a crack den a chance. And I know this from being a social worker. She was doing way more than what she just said right there. She's not telling the truth.
Yeah, I think it's a lot for CPS to take a kid away from a mother.
It is.
It is.
It is.
So she says, I went to my family for help and they stabbed me in the back. And all I kept thinking when they have her made up in her talking head, she looks exactly like Allie Wentworth. Exactly.
Who's that?
Okay, type in Allie Wentworth on your phone right now. ALIWENTWORTH. Allie Wentworth is married to George Stephanopoulos. She's an actress and she's written a lot of really good books. And
yes, she does.
Allie Wentworth, everybody, look her up. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, she does look. Oh, wow.
Like just like her.
She does look just like her.
Except Allie Wentworth came from a very, very blue blood, fancy DC family. So that's the difference. But they still look exactly the same.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
So she says all she wants to do is get her kids back and do her best. And she has no support from anybody. And he says, well, court will be what does it when you go to court. That'll show, And she says, thank God for you. Like, you're the only one I have. And she's like, you make me so happy. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, that was terrible. Sorry.
You're going to get more DMs. Remember to DM at Pink Shade Pod, not at the Libra Lounge with Keisha. So then she also tells us that she's got twins.
I know. She hasn't seen them in 8 years. So how old are they? Because you see a picture of her on a couch and they look like they're like two. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she says that's what's important to her. She does have the older child. So he is telling us this. Julian says she has these twins. She hasn't had contact in 8 years. She can't get in touch with her ex. She's tried to get in touch with him for years. There's a court order saying she can see her kids, but then she still doesn't get to see them. He says,
I call bullshit on that.
Yeah, she's been in jail. You're going to like force him to bring the kids to jail? I mean,
that too. And even if she's out, if she has a court order, all she has to do is go to the sheriff's department and says, hey, I'm over here trying to get my kids. I've got the court order. He won't bring my kids out. She was not trying to see about those kids.
She's been in prison.
No way.
She's been in prison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he says, it's just a mix. It's just heartbreak and tragedy and bullshit all mixed together. Like, it's sad. And I mean, listen, I know that he is, in love with her and thinks she's wonderful and all that. But you need to really be looking at what this woman has done to lose custody of her children. And yeah, the court system will be like, oh, you hadn't seen your kids in 8 years. Okay, you tried on 3 occasions in 8 years and were in prison the rest of the time. So no, they can stay where they are.
Yeah, you can start off with maybe supervised visitations, like you can meet them at a Chick-fil-A or something like that. But no, they don't need to just go off with her.
I agree. So in her talking head, she says she loves Julian more than anything. And she's so excited to be intimate with him. And she's like bobbing and weaving. And she goes, he's great at going downtown. It's like,
I couldn't.
TMI.
I couldn't. It was too much.
For this show.
And she's like seeing him and how he just is so like working in my cubicle, eating my cucumber sandwich. And she says that it is just like, stop.
Yeah, she says she's also amazing at sex because she's had so much experience.
So she just called herself a whore.
No, she didn't. She just said she's had a bunch of kids, and because I think she's comparing to him. He's only been with 3 women ever. A high school girlfriend, an ex-wife, and yeah.
Okay, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
All right. They jump in the bed, and they make cat purring noises. Like, I don't know. I can't do it.
Why does she keep doing that?
She's done it more than once.
Stomach yes, and each time it made my stomach bubble. I'm like, why? Why is she doing this?
I don't know. My friend, I have a good friend that can make that noise. She can do it. And I'm like, stop. No. Nobody wants that.
Sexy.
Nobody wants that.
It's not. No.
And so she's making the cat purring noises, and she's like, "You look so good. I'm gonna bang your head on this headboard."
And she's like on top of him, like she's mounting a horse.
He's like, "Whoa."
I like she's gonna literally eat him up. I'm like,
yeah,
slow down there, Catwoman. Like, and let this man breathe.
Then he was like, "No, we're not using any protection." And she goes, "Condoms? We don't use that. That's some kid shit. I want it raw, baby. Raw dog." And she like flings herself off the screen. You're like, God, relax.
So there's an episode of, I don't know if you watch the show Unexpected.
No, I know about it, but I don't watch it. It's the same as Teen Mom. It's kind of the same idea. Right.
Kind of, sorta. There's this one guy, like, I have never hated in all the reality TV shows that I've ever watched.
Really?
Hated a person more than this guy. Yeah. So
more than I hate Kim Plath?
We may have to sit down and really compare notes one day.
Okay. Okay.
So he's talking about the first time that he and his girlfriend had sex. And
how old is this guy?
They're teens.
Okay. Continue.
So she was like, "Well, I thought you were using a condom, but you took it off." And he's like, "Yeah, because I'm a professional raw dogger." I thought that was quite disgusting. But then this chick right here said it, and it was just vomitrosis. It was just too much.
Vomitrosis.
It really was. Between that and the brrr, I was like, please, next couple, come on. Can we please get to the next couple? Please, come on. It was a lot. She's a lot.
Vomitrosis.
Yeah.
It's like halitosis or endometriosis, but it's vomitrosis.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's move on to Kim and Joey. So she arrives at this log cabin where they're going to spend the night. She went a night early so she could be alone and like process and be without the kids. I thought that was a good idea to kind of.
It is very good idea. Yeah.
The last time she was intimate was 2018, and everything is different now. And she feels self-conscious because, she's got a mom bod now. She's got C-section scars, and everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
The next morning, she's getting ready, and she's like, "Yeah, I fell asleep not until like 3 a.m. because I was so nervous. And then I woke up and threw up. I think I've got nerves."
She should have taken a trazodone.
Keisha, I've been on the trazodone train. I'm weaning back to a fourth of a trazodone.
So I take 2 trazodone a night.
250s? 250 milligrams? Okay. I've been taking a fourth of a 50. Now, I was taking a half.
You out?
Yes. It makes me feel very weird. Yeah.
It makes me feel great. Yeah, I need that in my life, like in order to sleep. And
I know the bottle says like you can take 1 to 2, and I've very rarely taken 1, but usually I'll take a half. But now I've gone down to a fourth because it makes me sleep so hard that I think I need to like lessen it so that I'm able to like wake up. What if there's a tragedy in the house?
So when I first started, I was taking 5.
Keisha,
that is how bad my sleep was. Yeah.
Wow.
And so we have like gone down.
Okay, good.
Yeah. It was my sleeping was, I've always had trouble with sleep.
Yeah.
Wow. So
that just blew my mind. All right. So she says, of course she's not completely dumb. I mean, she's halfway dumb. She's not completely dumb. She worries about him going back to the street life. And sometimes she makes bad decisions about the people that she cares about. And so she gets
including this.
Mm-hmm. So as Tatum's toes told her. And when I was doing the notes for this week, it was like erasing the notes from last week. And I saw what we were like, Tatum's toes. What are some better names for this
names
store?
to add? And we really did think of some other names for this woman.
Tips to Toes by Tatum. Something.
Tips and Toes by Tatum. Yeah. I thought
Eden's Nails. Anything.
Something other than Tatum's toes.
Tatum's toes. Toes of Tatum. Tatum's toes. So she gets the phone, his new phone, and she does. I'm going to do share location on both of our phones. I don't think that's creepy. I think if you're not doing anything wrong, you can be located. And I agree with that. And she puts an air tag in his bag, which I thought was kind of funny. Where's he taking that bag?
That's what I was saying. So why did she put it in his shoe?
I know. And then
Why
he'll be
put
like,
it in
God,
his
these shoes are
bag?
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she says, Joey has a history of dating tasteless, trashy, drug addicted women. And he's been getting messages from someone that's invested and causing us issues. And I'm being honest here. He's cheated on everyone he's ever dated, including Tatum with me. So it's hard because I feel like I'm just sitting back waiting for the other shoe to drop. You are. We all are. Yeah.
You just made a whole documentary on why this person is a horrible partner.
Yep.
Yet and still, you are going to go pick him up from prison, get married to him in 6 months, and you want him to immediately be the father to your children.
Right.
So you said she was half dumb. I think she's full dumb.
If you got to put an air tag in your own pink suitcase, you maybe not be playing with a full deck.
Mary Kay, I don't even know where you buy an air tag from.
Apple.com, Amazon.com. We have two for the dogs. Yeah.
No, I had never heard of AirTag. I kid you not, until we did the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
And when the one girl said that some guy put an AirTag on her car, I was like, right. What is an AirTag?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, that's some scary shit. There is technology now where it'll tell you that an AirTag is with you. Like if you have an iPhone, you will be alerted. There is an AirTag with you.
You know what? Producer James probably has an AirTag in my hair extensions. It's like, I need to know where this bitch is at all times. She doesn't share her location with me, but I'm going to know where she is. Oh, yeah.
We have those AirTags for the dogs, but we don't ever put them on them. But just like, I don't really, but every time I leave that, because they're sitting on the front hallway table, every time I leave the house, I'll get a note. You have left a location where you have AirTags. I'm like, I know.
Wow.
They're in my house. I know. I don't know how long they last or anything, but I feel like maybe for school, I should throw one of those AirTags in his backpack in case he leaves it somewhere. Yeah. Attach it. I don't know. So I told you that somebody for a graduation gift gave him a key ring with AirTag on it. That was a graduation gift from a kid we don't even know, with a monogrammed Ole Miss keychain with an AirTag on it for a graduation gift. And I could not tell you this kid's name. He doesn't even go to John's school.
How much does an AirTag cost?
I don't know, $40, $50. Plus a monogrammed Ole Miss keychain for a kid we don't even know.
Well, he must think very highly of John.
Well, I think it's just a rich family. And then the mom, every time they got an invitation to a grad party, just that was what she got for everybody. And they just had a lot of extra money, or maybe she got a 20-pack of AirTags. I don't know. Okay. So, all right, back to Kimberly. So we see some wild turkeys walking through a parking lot. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was so random. So random. Yeah.
Joey walks out. They hug and they kiss. He says he's so excited. He's like, oh, I just want to get out of these gross clothes and spend the day with you. Keisha, this man's hairdo. His hair is too short. He's got no sideburns, but a full beard. So there's a space between the short haircut and the beard. He looks Amish. He looks like an Amish person.
Yeah, you sent me the screenshot. You're like, what is wrong with his hair? And I'm thinking, in my mind, I go to Baby Wolverine from Wolverine, Logan.
Okay.
Yeah, like he's trying to transition a little bit. But I was actually surprised at you.
Why?
Because while you were focused on that, I kept going back to Kimberly saying, she's put on a little bit of weight, how she was afraid to see him. And then he walks out with these childbearing hips. And I'm like, Kimberly.
I'm looking at the picture, like, what am I missing in the picture? I did not look at his bod. I mean, I thought he had a little bit of a funny shape, like Colty from 90 Day Fiance.
Because they were hips made for breeding on a man. That was immediately what I saw.
I feel bad. I do, in a lot of ways, feel bad when people come out of prison and they have gained so much weight because the food is so disgusting. I think they have to eat so much junk food and ramen noodles and stuff to feel like they ate something. So all that junk just makes you gain weight right in your middle,
But there's also a lot of people in prison who devote lots of those free hours to working out.
Like True. He's very
like
buff.
True.
Yeah.
Or like when Teresa Giudice went to prison, she ran, she started doing yoga. So you've got choices here. You've got choices. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. He FaceTimes his mom. Is like, hey, Tammy. Hey, mom. And she's like, oh, y'all are such a beautiful couple. I can't wait to see y'all. God bless you. Praise Jesus. Amen.
She is practicing because in her community, the small town community theater is going to do Steel Magnolias. And she's practicing because she just knows she's going to get a starring role. It doesn't even matter which role it is. Yeah. She just wants to be in it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
She's got it going on.
Oh, so so in her talking head, she says, I don't know. Like, I hope he's ready to be a full-time parent. And in my heart, I know he's sober and I know he wants to stay that way, but still going to have to be watching him at all times. That sounds fun.
This guy has been in jail so often that he hasn't even had a kid of his own.
I know. And it's had so many women to cheat on, but yet no babies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless these women are exceptionally smart and not raw dogging it like Christine is.
Christine is raw dogging it. She can't get enough.
She scares me.
I know. All right. So LaTisha and Keith. Okay. Keith calls.
And she's getting a statement for her.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Something on almost every
oh God, I love it so much.
Couple here.
Okay.
So she took to her Instagram page after watching the first episode and she was pissed.
Okay.
This is what she says. She goes, I'm not letting none of y'all bitches film with me again. Y'all can't even have the courtesy to briefly fix my fucking hair. You multiple scenes in one day over and over again for 8 to 10 hours, and y'all just pop in and pop out. I have to wait months for the promos to come out just to see my hair was sticking up. And y'all, in all caps, saw it the whole time you were filming with me. I invited y'all bitches or y'all begged, but as long as you're on TV and because of me, y'all are welcome. Anyways, tune in tonight on WeTV.
So she's mad at production or?
No, she's mad at the two girls her co-workers or her employees.
Oh, I thought she's mad at production.
Yes. No, they're like, God, you bitches. Yeah, I'm like, LaTisha, but you also, there's a such thing as a mirror. Trust me, if I'm filming something, every time we have a break, I'm going to be like, fixing my makeup, fixing my hair. Bitch, your hair was just fucked up. Period.
We're on a YouTube, and I can't quit messing with my hair because I told you earlier I put honey in my tea, and then I did this, and I've got honey in my hair. So now I'm like, oh my God, look at my hair. Yeah.
You're aware of what's going on. Because, I mean, every now and then I'm like, oh, my hair looks flat. Or
Yeah.
She has no one to blame but herself. With those little caterpillar antennas that she had.
I know you were very upset about that. I wasn't that upset about it. I was like, it happens to me. I get this weird piece over here that sticks out.
That is not the shit that she had going on. And here's the thing about it. I'm like, thank God she didn't listen to Pink Shade and hear Real Court because she would have been big mad if she heard what I said about her hair. So.
Listen, Wig Court did not have to go in session this whole show. I don't think. I'm still looking, but I haven't seen any new violators. How about that?
No. All repeat offenders.
All repeat offenders. Although, let me pull up the Wig Court because I might have an offender coming up. I just remembered one. Remembered one. All right, hold on. Let me pull it up just in case we got to get to it. Okay, there it is. Okay. All right. So she's getting a massage. She's getting like a whack, the booty facial. She's getting like exfoliation all over her body.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm going to have your mom and your dad and your stepmom and your sisters come over. Now, I didn't see mom there. I only saw stepmom and dad and then a cousin, I guess.
No, that was his little sister.
Okay. And I never saw her name.
Kendra or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't never see it. And I was like, oh, God, rewind it. So she says, we should have them come over so we could break the news about your early release. Should I ask? Beep. And she says, Beep is a hater. She says, I'm not good enough for her brother. She doesn't like that I spent $15,000 of his money on a ring. And he goes, just let me deal with her. Just let me deal with her. Like, you don't need to worry about it. And she goes, no, because I don't want to hear what she has to say about me. I want to get to her first. And
she's just being messy, messy, messy.
I don't want beep to cause a family divide. But I'm gonna have to talk to her before she's allowed in our house. Now,
see, that's a bad start right there.
Well, Aunt Marcia's there. Would you like to sing Aunt Marcia's theme song?
Oh, baby, you got what I need. But you say he's just a friend. Like, she just... One of these times on an episode, I need her to come out with a Biz Marquee t-shirt on.
It's so funny.
I wouldn't survive the episode if she did that.
So Aunt Marcia's there, and you know, Aunt Marcia's like, this is so great. And she says, let's go. Everybody's here. We all love each other other than beep. And LaTisha says, I've had beef with her for a couple of years and I want to squash it. I want to get rid of this drama. I don't want to be involved in this. Keith calls now and Marcia goes, little Mike is calling.
Yeah. Like,
his name,
is that his middle name?
I don't know, but somebody walks in that's an offender.
I know who it is.
Hear ye, hear ye. Wig Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Keisha presiding.
All right. Wig Court is now in session. You and your wigs may now be seated.
Okay. All right. I was.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Sorry, you guys. Sorry. Okay. You could hear that, right? You could hear Wig Court?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It sounded like it was coming through my speakers. Anyway, so there is a offender in the court of Wig here, and it is the stepmom, and her name is Benita. Benita, it wasn't good, Benita.
It wasn't. It looked like she picked that wig. It was already styled. And she just threw it on her head.
Yeah.
It looks that, you know, when you get a wig, it's supposed to look like your real hair.
Yeah. Or
it's
blend
not
in. Blend in with your hair. Yeah.
It's not supposed to, you're not supposed to walk in a room and someone go, damn, that's a wig. No. And you're supposed to say, damn, your hair looks really good. But no, hers was just, and it didn't like move.
No, it was just like a little helmet on her head.
Yes, it was.
So they are saying that the sister beep wouldn't come. She had something else to do. And Tisha says her not showing up is an admission of guilt. And we all need to come together. And the fact that she didn't come here shows, number one, you're a motherfucking liar. And number two, you're a motherfucking snake. Wow.
Well, maybe she found out y'all were just having a Domino's pizza. Like,
maybe she's like, there's a bag of Tostitos and Domino. I could do that at home.
Yeah. No, call me when you actually make a meal and we are actually having a family gathering, you know, like, because when she came out with the Domino's pizza, I'm like, she couldn't even get Papa John's. Like, what is going on?
No breadsticks, no side salad.
Nothing.
So Tisha tells the family the good news. Everyone's so excited. And the younger sister is saying, I haven't seen him since I was 14. Been in prison that long. Now, all right. Now, remember Marcia said, we call him Little Mike, even though his name is Keith. Yes. All of them are wearing buttons with the face of somebody on it that says 1981 to 2010, Mike. So there's Mike, and there's Little Mike. Is Mike's name... I'm confused.
Maybe there's a Michael Keith and a Keith Michael.
And maybe like Big Mike was an uncle. Like, I don't know. Was his dad?
Yeah.
I don't know. Born in 81 though.
No, I mean, his dad was there. So.
Correct. His dad was real stuck in the 80s.
True. But he also looked young. He and the stepmom did not look like they would be together. She looks a whole 15 years older than him.
Yeah. I need more explanation.
Everything was off.
I will tell you something about LaTisha. I find her very attractive. I think she looks really good.
She entertains me. I find her fascinating.
I do too.
She's just, and I wonder if she's going to release another statement because she still had the same hair issue. She even saw it in the bathroom. She goes, well, I guess that's as good as it's going to get. Well, then why are you putting these girls on blast when you know you just need to go get your hair done?
I just think she's just like trying to be funny. Like, I can't believe y'all let me go out there looking like that. I mean, you saw it yourself, girl, and you just didn't. I think she went in the bathroom, plastered it down, but by the time she got to talking to him, boom, they just popped right back up. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. It happens to me. Okay. So she says, I want to have a nice dinner when he gets out with only close family because he has, been incarcerated. I don't want him to be overwhelmed. He's institutionalized. Right. And, I do want to squash the beef with beep and I don't want any drama. And the stepmom says, that's right. More positivity, less negativity. Let's go with that. And she says, listen, he loves his sister and he only wants positivity when he comes home. So something's going to happen here. And she says, I'm very stressed and nervous about when he gets out because I thought we had more time and everything. And then she's like, I got a surprise for y'all. And she goes off and comes out with like a real king crown. This was better than the one Z had. It was better. It was stupid, but it was better. It was stupid.
It is real easy to be a king around here. You don't even have to have any royal blood. You just need a crown from Party City or Amazon. And you
definitely need to be in prison. Definitely need to be.
Almost definitely. The king of prison is out. Like, they are killing me with this shit. They really are. It's like, okay, girls.
All right, y'all, it's summer. We've got to take care of our skin, especially in the summer. That's why I am loving OneSkin. Their products are created by skin longevity scientists and backed up by lab and clinical studies, so they work. And I'm not just talking about surface benefits either. Their OS1 peptide, this is this peptide that targets the zombie cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and sagging skin. That OS1 peptide is scientifically proven to reverse skin's biological age at the cellular level. You guys, who even knew what an OS1 peptide was or what zombie cells were until this product? I'm so excited about it. So whether you're laying out at the beach or like I tried to do last week when I was hit by a tropical storm, or if you're heading out on an actual fun vacation, OneSkin's OS1 powered sunscreens will block those UV rays while targeting the UV induced skin aging that you already have. I love all of their products, but I'm really excited about the new limited edition bundle, the summer skincare essentials. That includes your daily moisturizers and the broad spectrum sunscreens for the face and body. They sent me this bundle and I threw it into my pool bag and I've been using it every time I go out in the sun. Let me tell you about OneSkin. They were named to Fast Company's list of the world's most innovative companies of 2024, a roster that includes the top companies that are making a positive impact on the world. They combine tissue engineering, data analysis, and cutting-edge longevity science to create the world's most effective products to target skin aging. OneSkin believes the purpose of skincare is not just to improve how we look, but to optimize our skin biology so that it is more resilient to the aging process. This is next level skincare. So as summer continues on, give your skin the UV protection, hydration, and cellular support it needs with OneSkin. OneSkin is more than skincare. It's about skin longevity, targeting the root causes of aging to help you look and feel your best at every age. Get started today with 15% off using code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off at oneskin.co with code PINKSHADE. After you purchase, they'll ask you, where did you hear about us? Please support our show and tell them we sent you here from Pink Shade. It's time to expect more from your skincare routine. Invest in the health of your skin with OneSkin. All right, let's end it. Oh, no, not ending it. Just going to talk about, we still got two more people. We got Hope and Arthur. And that was the funniest thing ever with that review that we got with people saying, well, I didn't know my name Arthur was an old man name. I'm sorry.
I laughed so hard when he's like, well, let me submit my retirement papers because I'm an Arthur and I'm 39. I'm like, oops. He was such a good sport about it. Like, it was really, really funny. So, Arthur, hey. How are you, Arthur?
Thanks for listening. And so she says, they're in the truck and she goes, last time you got out, you were also wearing a black shirt to signify the death of that shit. And he goes, yeah, the death of me ever going back to prison. And I'm like, or to signify the death tattoo on your forehead. Like, what are you talking about?
I feel like there, and I do have some Hope and Arthur scoop too.
Lord, go ahead.
At some point they have to address the Dorito on his forehead. Someone called a Dorito, and I cannot let it go. And I'm like, yes, it is like a Cool Ranch Dorito on his forehead.
Somebody on Reddit said they heard food pyramid and they can't stop thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if they heard that from Keisha.
Because I'm like, as soon as I saw it, James was calling something like, it looks like a food pyramid. It looks like an Egyptian pyramid. Everything. Okay, so I think we talked about Arthur being arrested. Did we?
I think we definitely saw that he had been rearrested. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So his mom was on either Instagram or Facebook talking to someone.
Okay.
And they were asking, that she was kind of explaining why he felt the way that he did about her pulling back. And she explains it like, look, this happened time after time after time, blase. And so she said something again about like now this time. And someone's like, what do you mean this time? So apparently Hope and Arthur got into an argument. And he was trying to leave her. He's like, I'm out. I'm done. He was trying to leave the apartment. Hope pulled out a gun and tried to shoot and kill him. So according to his mom, he turned around just in time. She didn't say like just in time to like move to the side, do this, do that. But apparently Hope ended up shooting herself. So she goes to the hospital. And she tells the police there that Arthur shot her.
So I wonder if he turned around and like hit the gun and then it hit her foot or something
like that. So that you may be onto something with that. So she tells them that Arthur is the one who shot her. When they go look for him, he has her gun on him. So he immediately gets arrested. So his mom says now she just admitted that she shot herself. She went to the police, so they're just waiting for him to get out. That is some crazy shit right there.
So, like, let's hope he doesn't go back to her. I mean,
well, his mom said he was trying to leave her then, like he was done with the relationship. So, yeah. And she said that if I can't have you, no one can have you.
Because he's such a prize. I could see it.
He should have taken his ass back to Las Vegas with his mom. His mom predicted that something like this was going to happen.
Yeah, she did. You're right. Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. So in the talking head, he says, I am torn about going with Hope to Dallas or going to be with my family in Vegas. And he tells her, look, it's hot as shit in this truck. I don't want to go camping and have to stay in this truck. Like it's so hot. Yeah. And I just want to go to the crib. I want to go to the apartment. And her talking head, she goes, he thought camping was a great idea until he'll talk to his mom. His mom has too much influence. Why would he want to sleep in a truck when you've got a nice apartment sitting there? That makes no sense.
Who wants to go like it? Not, I don't know. I feel like that was something that she talked him into. Maybe he really thought they were going camping, like glamping or something like that.
Yeah.
Just being in the back of the truck just wasn't it. And I don't know why she thought that was a good idea either.
It's always just like, let me just get home and take a shower and just get to where I'm going,
like a normal person.
Yeah. So they go to the apartment. The apartment is really nice. It has a great view.
Do you think that's her apartment?
I do, because, normally I can sniff out an Airbnb in no time, but she had the kitchen looked like it was her stuff in there. And she had like a wall sign that said Hope on it, not like Hope, live, laugh, love, but like Hope, that's her name. And she was like, look, I got you a sewing machine.
Which was very nice.
Which was really nice. She said while he was in prison, he said he learned to sew, and he tells us that like, people thought it was like girly or whatever, but he liked it and he wants to be a designer. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm trying to get you in the bedroom. And in her talking head, she was like everybody else, I struggle with body image. When we first met, I was super skinny, had different hair and all that. I was like, well, girl, he also had less facial tattoos. So you're in the same boat. Everybody changed.
I can do facial tattoos are not okay, but like one across your forehead just means you're extra stupid.
He's got the one that wraps around the eyebrow. He's got one under this eye, one over here. I mean, he is starting to run out of space on his face. He's like Post Malone.
Yeah, with someone that does that to me, that is their way of telling me I don't want to have a job.
Ever.
I'm good. I don't want a job. Mm-hmm.
So I did notice in her talking head, she's wearing a little drop necklace that's an A.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
A for Arthur. So she cries and she tells him, like, I know that I ruined the relationship the first time by not being faithful. And I'm so happy you're here now. And this is the next morning or whatever. And he tells her, hey, you shouldn't beat yourself up over that because I did bad stuff too. And then she says, so what happened to that $300 I sent you for the tattoo, which is going to be a portrait of me? And he goes, yeah, I didn't do that. And she goes, did you get a tattoo at all? He goes, yeah, I got a rose. A rose, symbolizes life. And she goes,
I thought it symbolized love.
I did too, but all right. And then she goes, I got your name, but all right. And we see across the top of her thigh, it says Moon Man. Is that his name, Moon Man? Because I thought his name was Arthur.
Girl.
Moon Man? Moon Man.
I don't know. I mean, look at the people that we're talking about. We are really trying to add sense to people who are senseless.
You're right. I was like,
yeah.
We've never heard her say, I've always called him Moon Man because he does a mean moonwalk, or because he looks like an astronaut, or I don't know.
Something. You have a lot of things going on that we need like further backstory to.
Yeah. Yeah. So she says, did you think I would just forget that I sent you $300 for that tattoo? And he goes, yeah, I did. And she goes, so you told me you got a tattoo, and then you also told me you got a touch up to the tattoo, and that was all a lie. And he goes, yeah, I did. Yeah, I was just trying to save face. Yeah, I lied.
He just got a little extra red in that rose tattoo.
I mean,
first of all, how fucking dumb to send someone in prison $300 to get a goddamn prison tattoo.
Right.
That shit better be for free. That shit better be for ramen noodles. Like, that is what you're going to pay them in ramen noodles for a tattoo in prison. I
wish he would have said, if you look closely at the triangle on my forehead and squint your eyes, then you'll see your portrait there, because it's for everybody. It's a universal symbol.
She's could have fell for that shit.
Oh, now I see it. You just got to squint just right. So she says, all my friends have told me not to be with this guy. And, he told me he'd get this portrait tattoo of me, and he didn't. And now I feel like the butt of the joke. And I have spent at least $20,000 to $40,000 on him. $20,000 and $40,000 is a pretty big difference. Matter of fact, it's double.
Yeah. And I think your friends think you're a fucking joke because you spent any money on him while he was in prison. Never mind the tattoo.
Never mind that he didn't get a portrait tattoo of you. Like, how would you even notice it?
And then again, like, I think we talked about, these women say that they spent so much money on these men, and it's just like, how? Like, literally, I'm thinking they're like, oh, well, on last season, someone said they spent $15,000. Yeah. I'm going to make myself look bigger, and I'm going to spend $40,000 and get him a dollar bill bouquet of, I've got to one up that one girl. Like, I'm a better prison wife, There's no way these women are affording this kind of shit.
$20,000, much less $40,000, is a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
To give someone who's in prison.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. And she goes, yeah, all my friends just think he's using me, like, for a place to stay and for money. And I mean, I think they're using each other. So she says, to him, we've done our share of hurting each other. I'm ready to just move on with it and be happy and peaceful. I'm done hurting. Wait, who are you texting? And he goes, oh, what? Huh? And he says, I'm going to go and try to spend time with my mother. And she goes, well, your mom's going to try to say negative things and make you come back home. And he was like, my mom doesn't have any influence. If I'm going to leave you, I'm going to leave you. It's not because of anything she says. So she's like, and then she pulls out a gun and shoots him. Okay. Now we're going to end with Shonta and Drew. Not funny. Okay. Drew's gone. He won't answer his phone or his text messages, and she's pissed. Well, he's hanging out with his sister, Angelique. Now, I counted no less than 3 times that this man ate meals on camera on this episode.
He's hungry. He's got to feed those muscles.
He is hungry.
He is very,
hungry.
very hungry.
So, and he and Angelique go to some kind of diner. I don't know if it's breakfast or lunch or whatever. But in the talking head, Shonta says, yeah, we had sex. It was like having sex with a 17-year-old because that's how old he was when he went in. So it was fine. And then he says, oh, yeah, we had sex. It went for like 3 hours. Like, it was good. Like, I'm glad I waited and everything. Glad you waited. Did you have other options?
You didn't have a choice.
What are you talking about? And he goes, no, I didn't tell her where I went because I don't have to.
No, see that. Here we go. Here.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you do. You're living
engaged.
with me. Yeah, you're living with me. We are in a relationship. You are on probation. Yes, you do need to tell me that you're leaving.
Yeah, I'm leaving. So
he needs
also he needs an air tag.
He needs
put him in that new hairdo he got because all of a sudden his hairline's way up here. We saw it in prison. It was way back here.
It was awful. Yeah.
How do you fix that though? How do you give yourself a new hairline?
Is
it like a paint?
Well, I think, like I told you, he did that weird cut thing that the boys were doing that almost looked like baby hair, but then it was cut across.
Yeah.
And I think now he's got it done normally.
So it's just like this part grew out a little bit.
I think so.
Because I felt like maybe his braids were pulling his hair back too tight.
And that could have been whatever he did. It looks a lot better.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah, it looks normal.
So Angelique brings in some jewelry and she says, how are you feeling being with Shonta? And he goes, I don't know. I mean, I think she's happy that I'm here, face to face now.
Right.
But when I talk to her, like she can't look at me. She like looks away and she talks with an attitude. She gives me an attitude and she needs to change some of her ways. I think it's because it was like midnight and he was like, can we go to the mall? And she was like, the mall is not open, you dummy.
Or how about, he's like, can we go to the casino? How about I just spent all this money? My ass barely has a job. No, I don't want to spend any more money on you. Like
at the casino. Yeah.
At the casino of all places.
Angelique goes, look, you're ready to go out and kick it and stuff. And she's probably ready to settle down. You guys are the opposite right now. And you need to learn about this thing called the Keisha plan. And so in the talking head, she says, Angelique says, my brother just got out and I don't think he should be engaged. I don't think he should continue on with this. I mean, and like, I think Angelique is actually being like nice towards Shonta. Like
she is. Yeah.
He doesn't need to continue this bullshit with this lady.
And he's full of bullshit. I mean, he's like super, like we've seen some immature guys, but he's high up on the list of being immature.
But Keisha, to be in prison, we always talk about this, 17 to 30.
Yeah.
Think about what happens in your life. So like my son is 19, about to go to college.
Yes.
So what is going to happen in his life between now and when he's 30?
So many things.
I mean, he was in prison for every big event of his life.
He was, but I need him to stop chewing that gum with his mouth wide open.
Like, doesn't know.
Like, I don't know if I have a thing about gum. I hate gum. I think it's gross.
I know you hate gum.
Mm-hmm. And him chomping on it like that, and it's like coming towards the edge of his mouth. I can't. I'm like, oh my God.
You're worried he's going to pop out. Yeah, you're worried. Yeah.
It's just too much.
And okay, so in the car, he's like, I got to holler at your girl, LaTisha. Your friend, I don't know. Like she said she's going to send me some pictures and then she didn't. And then we get reminded that some of his pictures got confiscated, but he didn't put that together. And he says,
well, of course he did it. So
he didn't put that together.
He'll have to watch this episode. Say, oh, so she really did send me the pictures. They just took them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, I'm free right now. I need to find out why she ghosted me. Like, I'm free. Well, okay. So Shonta says he hadn't even called his parole officer, and that's the first thing he should have done. And so he walks into the house and he goes, he got a bag of food. And he goes, second meal. And he goes, hey, what's wrong with you? You mad at me? And then she just goes, no. She looks down and he goes, talk to me. And she goes, you've been gone half the day. And he goes, really? I've been gone for like 3 hours. And he goes, I went shopping. I got some clothes and some workout shoes and some shorts. And I wouldn't even be in this position to go buy stuff if you would have got me the right things. And she goes, it's not my fault. You gave me all the wrong sizes.
The wrong size.
So she bought him some tennis shoes and like a hoodie that he put on. It was all the wrong sizes.
I mean, perhaps they should have waited until he got out to know what
size he wears, because he probably was like, oh, when I was 17, I wore an XL, but now I wear a 3X because I'm buff.
But here we go. These women are listening to the person who's locked up, and they're telling them what to do.
I hope she can return all that shit.
Well, and then he's like, I have to go shop and I have to get. You did not just graduate college and you're coming home and receiving gifts. Like, you don't need jewelry. You don't need this. You don't need. You were in prison. You don't need to be rewarded for any of this stuff.
That's a great point.
I don't get it.
That's a great point. Why do you need presents? Yeah.
For what? For being bad?
Right.
No.
So he's like, I've been with my sister. And she goes, well, you walk in here, say you've been shopping and you don't have any shopping bags. And he goes, what do you think? You think my sister took me to another girl's house? And she goes, yeah, of course. I'd be riding for my sister and we'd be lying. Of course.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So he goes, let me call her. So he calls Angelique and goes, say the stores we went to. And she goes, we went to the mall and we got you some tennis shoes and we got you some hoodie and some workout clothes. And okay, bye. Hangs up on her. Yeah. And he says, I spent 13 years in the joint. You think I'm going to get out and waste my time? If I didn't want to fuck with you, I wouldn't fuck with you. I love you too much. I'm having a hard time getting you to talk, though. Like, you say nothing. You just sit and look down at your phone. And so as she's like looking at her phone, I think she does that as like a defense mechanism, right? You know, like,
I think she's very shy in front of him. I think it's a confidence issue.
Yes.
It's all she doesn't know how to act at all. I bet
she looks
never
at the phone
really been
like
in a relationship.
Yeah,
like a safety net, like
safety blanket.
A safety blanket. Yes.
Yeah, like I'm busy. You know, he goes, you know, you're shy. You're like boring. You say nothing. You sit on your phone. Like, it's cool. Like, you're a homebody and everything, but like, here you are now. You're back on your phone. Because she looked when he said you're shy. You're like boring. She looked at him right in the eyes, and then she looked right back down at her phone.
Like, he hasn't been out a whole 24 hours,
and all of a sudden now he's got the answers to everything.
Yeah, it has, and calling her boring. Like, what is
Did
she
you just have sex with
doing?
her for 3 hours? Like, I mean,
yeah, that's not boring.
So in the talking head, she says, to have this man dog me when yesterday he said he loved me, and now today he's saying I'm a homebody and boring. Like, you know, I'm up here in this place where I know nobody, and he's left for half the day. And so she tells him, she goes, you ignored me. You wouldn't answer the calls. So guess what? If you want to answer my call, you're not going to answer anybody's calls. I'll suspend your phone. And he goes, oh, you're petty like that. She goes, yeah, I am.
Yeah. Yep. But she ain't going to do it.
No. And he goes, you just hate not having any power. And she goes, I really want to smack you right now. And he goes, look, I'm not cheating on you. There's no other females. I'm still soaking in that I'm free. I'm trying to get myself together. Like, this is a big change for me. And his talking head, he says, look, here's the truth. I hate rules, and I need to humble myself. I need to realize that, like, it's not going to work in the free world, but she just needs to chill and relax. Like, and if things don't work out between us, that's on her.
I think she's being very chilled and relaxed, so much to the point you said she was boring. So what else do you want?
She's not being aggressive. Like, where were you? I mean, you know,
yeah.
So True goes, let's get up. Let's go see our PO because we're doing this together. You and me. It's our PO. And he goes, I'm gonna drive. And she goes, no, you're not. He goes, it's just like a block. She goes, no, you're going to legally get to the PO.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah.
And I bet he doesn't even really know how to drive.
No, he's like, he went in prison when he was 17. He only has license a year.
He doesn't know.
And he's like, you just can't tell me when to drive and all that. You got to get off my back. And she's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah,
he's eating again. He's eating again. Keisha, he's eating again.
I wonder, is it just so like he's like, okay, whenever I think about food, I'm so free now. I can just eat. Like, I'm not hungry, but I can have food.
I felt like that bag he came in with was McDonald's, and then in the car he had a Wendy's cup.
No, it was Wendy's from the start.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, it was Wendy's.
Oh God, that was funny. And so he's eating again, and he says, all the PO is going to say you got to pay your fine. It's $30 a month, but I don't even have to do it for 6 months. And in her talking head, Shonta says, all he can say about being out is I'm free. But then he's not doing anything to stay free. He's never had any guidance in his life on how to do the right thing. And then she says to him, listen, let's go get this done. I want to do something fun
Right.
today that I've planned, because I'm so boring.
Right.
And he goes, I didn't say you're boring. She goes, yeah, you did. You just said it like 20 minutes ago. Roll the tape.
Yeah.
He goes, here's my thing. I got to be on the go all the time. I got to always be doing something. And that way I don't get in trouble. I only get in trouble when I'm bored. And
Okay.
that's bad. And
Very bad.
in the talking head, he says, here's the problem. Me and my boys, we get bored and we go hit a link or a lick. We go hit a lick or a link. I rewound it, but I was watching it on a screener and I don't have closed captions on there.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't tell if he said we go hit a lick. We would just find a target, somebody to rob to make some money. Okay. That's what he would do when he would get bored. He'd just go rob somebody to make some money.
I mean, when I'm bored, I just eat.
I go shopping online.
Harass people in the house,
I watch something on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah. I never think to just go rob a person.
No, that's not top of mind. No.
Maybe I've never been bored enough. I don't know. We are lower level bored. Jeez.
So he gets out and goes into the PO office, and she says in the car, she's like, I'm dealing with an idiot. Like, he doesn't take things serious. He shows no regard for anything other than being free. He doesn't even want to do anything to stay free. And there's a lot that he needs to do to stay free. And he needs to recognize that real quick.
Yeah.
So comes back to the car and she goes, what happened? She goes, the PO wasn't there. And they told me just to keep calling, but I'm not going to keep calling. And she goes, okay. She gets her phone out, starts looking at her phone. And then she says to him, what's wrong? And he goes, I just didn't think all this would feel like a job. It's so hard. And she goes,
really?
Did you think it was going to be fun? Like, you're making it difficult. You just get through what you have to deal with, and then you can go on with the rest of your day. You're just combative on everything. And he goes, name something. Name them. And she says, everything. You're combative on everything. And then she gets out of the car and says, can you please take my mic off?
Yeah, she's had enough.
She's so annoyed with him. And then it really is like a mother and a son, this situation.
Yeah. And she's already got plenty enough kids at home.
We don't even know how many. There's like 3, 4 kids there, some grandkids. We're not even sure.
And I think she made a post like recently after that episode. I didn't take a screenshot of it, but she's basically saying he's doing the same shit. He still doesn't take things seriously. Same old, same old, same old. And I'm like, but you're still with him. So who's the dummy?
What happened to that restaurant y'all going to open?
Oh, yeah.
So in the talking head, he says, she's just doing too much. Like, she's got an attitude and it's annoying. And now I'm out and I'm free and I don't have to deal with it.
Okay.
And now in the talking head, she says he's so hard to deal with because he acts like he knows everything. He just got out of prison. And if he can't make the best decisions for himself, what's he going to do for me and my family? Well, you don't need to be dependent on him to do anything with your family.
All. Yes. At all. And mind you, it hasn't been 48 hours.
No. And she's already about to kill this man.
Yeah. And he thinks she's boring and not fun and too strict.
Good grief. So next week on Love After Lockup, Zeruiah says to Troy, I feel like you were dick fishing me. And then she says, I'm shocked. So that's why I think it's like some sort of giant penis situation.
I've never heard of dick fishing.
Well, me either, but she made it up. Do you think he knew that she had that slasher tattoo that said Troy across her side? Does he know about that?
No, I don't know.
Well, something.
He probably doesn't want to make mention of it because it's so awful.
It's egregious.
Yes.
So Hope says to Arthur, it's 12 o'clock. It's fucked up. So maybe he like came in the house super late or something. Joey and Kimberly are wearing matching Christmas pajamas, and he gets a text and she goes, who are you texting? And he says, nobody. And she goes, that nobody is definitely a somebody. And then we see him go, I gotta go. And he goes and hops in the car.
See, this is some bullshit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. LaTisha talks to some officer on the phone who says there is no indication. So we have to, she starts crying. We have to assume that means there's no indication of when he's getting out. And so that's been quite a roller coaster for her.
Well, and that makes more sense because, I like to creep on these people's pages and I'm like, he's not out.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, why are they saying on the episode something must have happened? Because we heard saying immediate release. And I'm like, I don't think he's out yet.
I mean, immediate release
From
takes
what
some
I've
time because
seen.
of the paperwork. I mean, so that could mean it could take a month, but definitely it's been a month.
Yeah.
We think. I mean, we don't know what is time.
We don't know.
And then Shantae asked True, do you want to stay engaged? And we don't know what he says, but she goes outside and stands by a wall and cries and says she feels like she was played. So
really? Yeah,
really,
you were prison played.
Yep.
These girls,
That's
I
it.
tell you.
That's it. And guys, that's also the fully the end of Inmate to Roommate. That's it.
Aww.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they're gone. But
it was a good season.
Maybe they'll be back next year. It took them forever to get a new season out of that. Like we never, all of a sudden it was announced. We're like, yes.
Yeah. I didn't think it was coming back, but I think more people are watching it. So hopefully we'll get a season 3.
Yeah, we'll get a season 3. Maybe bring back some of those old people just to like let us know what happened to them. Like an update.
Exactly.
That'd be nice.
I would love to know. Yeah.
We're always looking for updates. We never get them.
Right.
Keisha, what's happening over on the Libra Lounge with Keisha's podcast? You can find everywhere you find your podcast.
Yes. A new episode's coming out Monday. Now, don't wake up Monday thinking like it's going to be immediate. Like it's going to be sometime on Monday.
Monday afternoon. Okay, gotcha.
Something like that. Yeah. And this is where Kimberly from A Date with Dateline and I break down the season, like the second part of the season for Mama June.
Oh,
we wrap it all up.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And all I'm going to say is our plan was to talk for 20 or 30 minutes and we talked for over an hour.
That's how it goes sometimes with these reality shows. We can't stop talking.
Yes. We just can't stop talking. And then, I get to talk to someone who enjoys it as much as I do.
Yeah.
So it's just like we just kept going and going and going. So it's a really good episode.
Good. And this week also, you guys, on Pink Shade Prime, Keisha and Kimberly are going to break down Forbidden Love because I was unable to do it this week because on Monday I have to go get yet another back injection. I'm literally like recording in the morning, back injection, and then I'll have to sleep for 2 hours, wake up, do another recording, and then like have a final family dinner for my son. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, what day is he leaving?
We are starting to drive on Wednesday morning. So we will be driving on Wednesday. We'll be driving all the way down there to Mississippi. Oh. Yep. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Everybody, please follow Keisha over on Instagram at the Libra Lounge with Keisha. She's got a very funny Instagram. She her Facebook is funny too, but the Instagram is where it's at. And follow me too at Pink Shade Pod. I'll put up a good reel this week, maybe of this episode since it's on video. So yeah, if you're listening here, you can click the link in the show notes and you can watch it on YouTube for free. I'll talk to you next week, Keisha.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.